And this is a really high pressure day today. Sorry, everybody, but so we've got half an hour that we can allocate to the council meeting, hoping that we'll get at least 16 and 17 done. And if we don't get it all done, we will defer any remaining items to the meeting for the 20th, and then we'll close the meeting and go into the rest of our afternoon. So, item 16. Joshua, would you like to kick away, please?
Yeah, I'll take the report as read. We just have 2 applications to the Discretionary Response Fund and 1 application to the Place Partnership Fund as detailed.
Any questions? Oh, silly, Councillor Donovan.
Sorry, I was a bit late back, so I haven't got it up in front of me, but I just had a couple of questions about Green Lab.
Yes.
Can you just confirm how much funding they received from us in the last financial year?
So for this financial year, they've received $5,000 from the Strengthening Communities Fund and $35,000 that was technically given in the last financial year, but to be applied in this financial year. So a total of 40.
Great. And what was in the previous financial year?
Previously, it was $80,000 per year through the Enliven Places Fund program.
So there's been quite a change in the amount of funding the last 2 financial years in terms of had quite a substantial drop. How much is left in the Place Partnership Fund? $116,300. Right, okay. So if we were of the mind to put forward a little bit of funding to make sure that they were able to deliver part of their project, would that leave the fund in a healthy enough position that other groups could still apply?
Certainly. The only implication would be if there were other groups that came later in the year, there would be an equivalent amount not available then. But yes, the fund has capacity.
Great. So I just want to put forward a small amendment for the Green Lab for the sum of $12,000 for delivering the Avon Hub project. So it'll be one part of the project, just to make sure that they've got that continuity, because they've gone from being having an annual fund of, sorry, what was that, 80,000? And they've dropped quite substantially. Our community board gave them a one-off grant, but it was for a project, not for operational projects, so they won't be able to continue delivering those over the next year without a bit of continuity. So,
which recommendation are you wanting to amend, Councillor Donovan?
The one from 0 decline, this one.
for the Place Partnership Fund. So which one's that one?
Happy to second it.
So 5.
Oh, sorry, greening the rubble.
Greening the rubble.
Yeah.
So it would be changing from a decline to a grant of $12,000.
Approves the grant. What were you wanting to?
For a total of 12,000.
So do we have a seconder for that? Councillor Barber.
The number 5 is approve.
Are there any other questions? All right, is there any debate? Councillor Scandriff?
Yeah, the greening the rubble and the other groups do a fantastic job, but I do think at some stage they do need to get together and discuss how they can share the administration, etc., because we've got 3 groups who technically formed following the earthquake. We're now well and truly a decade after that. The city's moving on. I think they need to move on, and rather than giving funding to 3 groups to do 3 lots of administration, although they do have specialist areas, I do think they've got to start looking more seriously at how they're delivering. So I totally support this, and Celeste, thanks for bringing it up. But I've mentioned it before, and I think it's on them to start changing it, or I'm going to have to start looking at how I support these organisations. Thank you.
Okay. Can I ask for staff to just send us a memo at some time about those 3 organisations and their points of difference and their points of alignment? Just not a novel, but just an outline of perhaps.
Yeah, sure.
So whether to support Councillor Scandriff's idea or whether or not. So that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So there's no further debate. I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Opposed? That's carried. Great. That's 1 down.
Thank
Item
you.
17.